All right, we're up here on a lease that I have, and we had to do a little bit of work here today. So while we're here, it's not quite shed time for us. Maybe half the bucks, based on my stealth cam pictures, still have their sheds, but one of the deer that I'm after and made it all season, we had an encounter with him on the last night of the season. He did shed, I think. So while we're here, we're gonna kind of walk some of the easier stuff, the food plots, the cut corn, fence rows where they tend to shed in the past. We're gonna have DeerCast help us along the way and see what kind of new features we can dig into while we're at it. So follow along, hopefully we find a shed or two today. Started a path track there once we started getting into the timber and heading down, so I kind of took a path of where I felt like this deer may have shed, and as I got further in, one of the cool things is on Path Tracker you can also add waypoints. So saw some good sign here. All you gotta do is hit the plus sign, you go to waypoint and place waypoint anywhere you want. So for instance, place waypoint, it's called bedding, and boom, save. So it's nice to have that feature, say you're blood trailing, to be able to hit a waypoint for every time you found blood. You know, doing this kind of stuff, we're out looking for sheds, say we find a good bedding area or some rubs or whatever, you could drop those waypoints as you're going now, and then you have them as you kind of put your plan together for next season and realize, okay, this is a little hot spot, this is somewhere where we need to stand, or I need to hang a camera, or whatever the case may be. So it's nice to have that feature in Path Track as you go along. So been at it for a little over a half hour. Been a little bit slow, but I kind of expected that. We're a little bit early yet. All right, so we're still working our way back out of the farm here, and one of the features that I like to look at when I'm in DeerCast, especially this time of year, you know, where you kind of intrude on parts of the farm you normally wouldn't, I like to switch around to the different maps that we have available in DeerCast. I'm in hybrid right now, so I can see those topography lines on the satellite. You can switch to just terrain, you can switch to just topography or just satellite or whatever. We even have monthly satellite, so you can go back and look at any different month and see what the farmer left food-wise versus when all the crops were in. So by and large, I think the map that I'm going to stick with the most is that hybrid map, so I can see the topography lines on top of the satellite. There's all kinds of new map layers that we're adding all the time in DeerCast, and we got some really cool plans coming up here in 2025 to add some even better ones. So check it out if you haven't looked in a while. Oh yeah. Hey, you're on the board. On the board. On the board, Aaron Bennett. You can always count on Aaron finding a shed. You come over here and you found 2 sheds all in like a matter of a couple minutes. Yeah. And we just walked for 40. All right, so we're finishing up here at the lease. DeerCast Path Track shows about a 2-hour time period here, and we didn't get too invasive. We only found a couple. Aaron found them both. This was the smallest, but the other one wasn't too much bigger than this. So I think we're gonna give it a couple weeks, pay attention to the command app and stealth cameras, and make sure that, you know, all the deer shed, and we'll get back after it. And the one area where I felt like the deer I'm after might have been, I did go and I turned on parcels, and I kind of walked that fence line and looked inward on my piece. And if you turn parcels on and you're following that line, you're always safe and sound. So the deer here, it's just a matter of giving them a couple more weeks, and I'm gonna try to get a few more bodies on this, and we're gonna come back in and see if we can find all the sheds we can find. So I'm pretty happy with the day though. Anytime you can get outside, you're good to go.